What is up, my fellow troubadours? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into 5 essential Bob Dylan songs that you must have in your solo acoustic set list. Well, maybe not must, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. These songs are timeless, versatile, and perfect for connecting with your audience. Dylan's catalog is incredibly diverse, which is one of the things that makes him one of the greatest songwriters of all time. His songs can be interpreted and adapted in many ways to fit your own personal style, which makes them perfect additions to our solo acoustic gigs. And it's no wonder that so many artists have covered his work over the years. Each of the 5 songs that I pick are going to represent what I consider to be a specific style or flavor of Dylan. So we're going to do 1 ballad, 1 fingerstyle piece, 1 all-time classic, 1 statement song, and 1 story song. Can you guess what they are? Well, stick around till the end and find out, and let me know if you think my picks are good ones and what you would have picked. Leave that in the comments. Alright, let's jump in. But before we dive in, please take a moment to give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps keep the content coming. And if you'd like to support the channel further, check out the links in the description. You could join my Patreon, buy me a coffee, leave a super thanks, or just browse through some of the Amazon affiliate links. Every little bit helps keep the channel going, and it's greatly appreciated. And if you're interested in a private one-on-one lesson or consultation, feel free to reach out via email. All the details and links are in the description below. Alright, let's get started. The first song is going to be a ballad called To Make You Feel My Love. I love this song. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. Never mind just my favorite Dylan song. And that should be no surprise that it was covered by Adele, Garth Brooks, Billy Joel. Let me tell you though, the original by Bob Dylan is something special, something charming. It has this crude, raw charm that just makes it very, very heartfelt. And I'm going to show you that version today because I like the way it gels with the piano chords that he uses in his original. I'm going to play it today using the C shape because Bob Dylan plays the song in D flat, believe it or not. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I can offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. So we're going to capo the first fret so that we could use the C shape. Now if you want to do like the Billy Joel style version, you transpose the whole thing I'm going to show you using the G. Well, more actually the Adele version I would call it. Alright? When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case. But we're going to do the Bob Dylan version today. I'm going to show you these chords. They're really beautiful. And the way they adapt to guitar, these are voicings you might use for other things that you do because they're kind of, it almost has like a piano type feel. C, G over B, and I'm going to finger it like this. B flat 6, F. Now you can play the F fully, or you can even play the F in first inversion, so you get. Now I'm calling them by their chord shape names. Obviously this is no longer an F because we're capoed. But when the rain is blowing in your face, G slash B, B flat 6th, and the whole world, F is on your case, F minor. I could offer you back to C. Then you could play D minor 7th to F over G or G9 sus, other name for it. So you can do D minor 7 to make you feel my love. But I like D minor 9th to make you feel my love. Or you could do D minor 9. You could even play G7 sus like this, because you want to keep that note going. That's what you hear. on that piano. Okay? So one more time. Bridge goes to the 4 chord, F. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, E7. But I would F do you wrong, C. F. I known it from the moment that we met. Back to C. No doubt. Now, for here, I like this D minor 9th, or you can make it a D minor 11th if you play out the first string to G. Okay? Or you could just go. Or my mind where you belong. However you want to do it. That's the basic chord structure. Very, very simple. Okay? And there you have it. The whole song, To Make You Feel My Love. You sing it in this key. It's nice and easy, low on the voice. You want to get fancier? Like I said, you can transpose it into the G-shaped keys and capo that up and down. If you have a higher voice or you like the Adele version of it more, you can do it that way. But either way, this is a great one. It always lands well for any audience. Sit and wonder why, baby. Alright, our next song up is Don't Think Twice. It's Alright, a Fingerstyle classic. This song is one of the best ways to get started with Bob Dylan and Fingerstyle without getting too complicated. Alright, we're going to get into a little bit of how the song goes. I can't do a full lesson on it because this purpose of this video is to touch on 5 Dylan songs and introduce you to them. But if you'd like to learn more about it, feel free to send me an email or leave in the comments that you want a more advanced lesson on this song, okay? It uses a simple Travis picking style, and the good thing is you have Peter, Paul, and Mary who covered it, Joan Baez covered it, and they did it in different keys, and they did it both with fingerstyle, but with a different flavor of fingerstyle. Fingerstyle is very unique. Everybody plays it a little bit different. So it's good to listen to those different versions of the song. The basic feel of this is you're capoed on the 4th fret for the Dylan version, right? And it's based around, it's in the key of C. Well, it's in the key of E, but we'll call it C because we're using our shapes here. And with this Travis style. So if we're playing a C, we're going to finger it like this, so we have the G in the bass, and our thumb is going to alternate. So, right? So, ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It'll never do. So that whole feel. Okay, let's go over the chords. C/G, no use to G, sit and wonder why, babe, A minor. Then it kind of walks down to F, if you don't know by now. Back to the C, G, ain't no use to sit and wonder. Back to G, A minor. Walks down, this time it walks down to a D7th with the F sharp in the bass. Do somehow to a G chord, and then you hammer on, you kind of put your pinky on that 3rd fret and gives you that G7, that different voicing of the G7. When you rooster crows, C, C7th, F, look out your window, D7 with the F sharp on the bottom. You're the reason, so you're, C, the reason, G, you can kind of hammer on that G7. I'm traveling on. Right, so traveling, A minor, walk down on F. But don't think twice, G, and you can even, it's alright. Think twice, it's alright. Alright, different versions you might have a different turn on it. It might be don't think twice, it's alright. It might pivot between 1 and 5, but Dylan just stays on the 5. Okay, then you have that little in-between interlude part. Dee, 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 dee. So that's just C, G, A minor, F, C. Okay. On the last one, he does it a little bit differently, but once you know these chord shapes and you get that basic feel, you could listen to the song and you'll be able to figure out what little nuances Dylan is using. Great fingerstyle tune. It's time for the all-time classic, and you knew it had to be Blowin' in the Wind. Of course, we cannot talk about Bob Dylan without mentioning Blowin' in the Wind. And if we're talking about an all-time classic, it's the quintessential Bob Dylan song. It's the quintessential classic song. It's a song that absolutely everybody recognizes. You could never go wrong playing this song. And it's only got 3 chords, but it's a little bit tricky in its own way. Alright, let's break it down. We're going to capo the song on the 7th fret, and we're going to use the G shape. The song is actually in the key of D, but we're just going to say it's in G so that our shapes make sense. The chords, G, C, and D. When we play the C chord, we're going to finger the G chord like this. When we play the C chord, there's going to be a little walk down that we do. Okay? And then sometimes we're going to play the C chord regular. So just keep that in mind. That's the feel. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Right? How many roads? So G, C, roads must. We're going to walk this down. This C is almost always going to get walked down. How many roads must? Now, this first finger, you can pick it up or leave it down. We're not going to be strumming the whole guitar anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're just kind of just hitting that little, hitting these few strings to get that voice movement. So what you do with your first finger is your business. Roads must a man walk down. So G, C, C walking, D, G, G, C, C walking, G. How many C's must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? The second half of the middle part of the verse, it ends on the D. And we're going to pivot, we're going to play the D with the F sharp in the bass. And we're going to pivot our bass between the A string and the low E string. So, sleeps in the sand. Second half of the verse. How many times must the cannonballs fly before they are forever banned? Then we get to the chorus. One more time, let's go through the whole verse slow. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? sail before she sleeps in the sand. D. Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they are forever banned? Remember, you can do that little hammer-on move too, he does. When he goes back to the G chord, sometimes he'll hammer on the low E. So, how many roads must the man walk down? You know, you might hear that. You can hammer on things and make it prettier. That's where he does it, at the end of that. Okay, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. So C, walking down to D. So answer, my friend. You can put that F sharp, kind of lead it up. Is blowing G in the wind. Regular C. Regular C. And we're going to pivot. That's the one different part. The one time we're going to play C and do it a little different. We're going to pivot between the C root note and we're calling it a G, the low E string. So right, so the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Then it just repeats the whole chorus part again with the harmonica. If you have a harmonica, this is a great one to use it on. I was going to teach the harmonica in this lesson, but the lesson would be too long. I'm trying to do 5 songs, so I'm just trying to cover them all. We could do a more in-depth lesson. You know how to get in touch with me if you want to. Okay, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Repeat. Next verse. How many years can a mountain exist before it is what, etc., etc., etc. That's the whole song. Little case in point. Just remember that C is always kind of moving. You know all the chords now. You just got to go through it, get it in your fingers, and you can play this classic Bob Dylan tune. Gather round people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Oh, accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. You know this one. This is Bob Dylan's ultimate statement song. The times, they are a-changin'. This song is one of Dylan's most iconic songs, and it's amazing that it's still relevant today as it was when it first was released. Seems there's always something changing in the world, right? It's simple to play, but it carries a lot of emotional weight. You could really punch this one home with an audience. And it's perfect for a solo acoustic, and if you have a harmonica, even better. The song is in G, so get yourself a G harmonica and have some fun. It's a steady strum with a 3 count, right? 1, 2, 3, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, right? Let's go over some of the chords. The verse section. 1, 2, 3. G, E minor, C, G. G, E minor, C, D. G, E minor, C, G. G, A minor, D. D, C, G slash B, D slash A, G. They are a D, G. Let me go through it with the words. Okay? Come gather round people wherever you roam. That's G, E minor, C, D. And then almost the same thing, except the second pattern ends in D. Admit that the waters around you have grown. D, right? Then accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. All right, repeats the first part. The time, G minor, A minor, is worth saving. So G, A minor is worth saving. Then you D, C, So you get that. All the times G, they are a D, G. Okay? All right, let's go through the verse really slow. And keep in mind in the first verse, when he says drenched to the bone, he hangs on that G chord longer for some reason. He doesn't do that in the other verses, but just keep that in mind. Okay, G, E minor, C, G. G, E minor, C, D have grown, and accepted that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. All the times they are A-Changin. Now, after each verse there's a little harmonica solo, right? Each one has a little bit of a different guitar part, and I actually wrote them down because they're all different. So the end of the first verse, all right, we'll start with the verse that ends, so you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. So you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. All the times they are A-Changin. All right, the first harmonica solo is G, E minor, C, G. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Then it goes into the next verse. Come writers and critics. All right, now we're at the end of the second verse, right? For the loser now will be later to win. The times they are A-Changin. We got E minor, C, G, G, D, C, G slash B, D. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. The next verse. Now at the end of verse 3, battle outside raging will soon take your windows and rattle your walls. The times they are A-Changin, and that one is G, 2, 3, D, C, D, G, 2, 3, G, 2, 3. There's no rhyme or reason to these. And now the end of the fourth verse. Stay out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are A-Changin. This one is a little bit longer. It's G, E minor, C, G. C, G slash B, D, D, G, C, D, G. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And then at the end of the final verse, okay, the first one now will later be last. The times they are A-Changin. It's G, E minor, C, G. It seems like it's going to do like what the regular verse does. You can't hear it because it fades, so you can just get your harmonica. That's the time for you to explore the studio space, if you will. Just run wild with your harmonica and do whatever the hell you want. Times are A-Changin. Great song to add to your repertoire. Let's move on to the final song. Alright, time for our story song, Tangled Up in Blue, a masterpiece of storytelling. I love this song. It like takes you on this journey, a journey. I wish I was on this journey in real life. What an awesome song. Dylan can tell his story like nobody else. This song is really engaging to an audience just because the writing is so good, but because of that, you really have to deliver it with conviction to keep the audience hooked the whole time. And it's kind of a long song, but I do very well with this song. And I recommend that if you can remember all the lyrics, try to memorize all the lyrics, because it's a long song and you don't want to be reading it the whole time, and it'll help keep this song more engaging. So we start out with this A major chord. The song is in A, and it's just kind of this sus. Then when he gets into the verse, early one morning the sun was shining. So it's A to G. I was laying in bed, wondering if she'd change it all. if her hair was still red. Again, her folks said out loud together, sure it's gonna be rough. They never did like mama's homemade dress. Papa's banquet wasn't big enough. Next section. E, I was standing, F sharp minor, on the side of the road. A, rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I'd paid some dues getting through. Hangs on E, G, E, A. That's a cool cadence at the end. There's a little bit of a bluesy kind of feel, right? So one more time. I was laying in bed, wondering if she'd change at all. To set our lives together. They never did like mama's homemade dress. Rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues. And if you have yourself a harmonica, you can just freestyle out the whole ending part. Have yourself a blast. This is a great song. The audience always digs this song. It's got a great energy. So there you have it. 5 essential Dylan songs, or 5 flavors of Dylan that every solo acoustic guitarist, I think, would be good to have in their set list or in their repertoire. These songs, did I sound fancy when I said that? These songs cover a range of styles, a range of moods. We went from heartfelt ballads to powerful statements and epic storytelling. And the best part is Dylan's songs are so versatile, you could really make them your own. Bring something unique to each performance. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe, right? For more acoustic guitar tips, gig advice, lessons, song recommendations, everything, all right? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are and what is your favorite Dylan song to play. I'd love to hear from you. And before you go, check out my cover of Just Like a Woman that I did several years ago. I'll put a link in the description. I did that song in my old studio, and I had a lot of fun covering it. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep playing and sharing your musical talent with the world. Take care.